to the Brother Henry and You Show. I am your host, Henry Harris. Welcome to the Brother Henry and You Show. It's so good to see you today. I hope you are having an amazing day. I have a special program for you today. It's something that I've been thinking about for quite a while, and I love you guys so much from the bottom of my heart. I really do. I enjoy doing this, and I enjoy just being a blessing to you, coming into your homes every week, every other day. Whenever I do this, my main motive is to inspire you, to build you up, to uplift you. I remember when I first started my show years ago, my motto was to inspire, edify, and build people up. Because I feel like, as many of you heard me say from time and time again, that's what it's all about. So, what I want to do is I want to encourage you to share the broadcast. I've already done that. I've shared this broadcast to all my platforms. You are watching the Brother Henry and You Show. I am your host, Henry Harris. How many know what relatability means, or the ability to relate? Do you know what the word relate means? I That's what we're going to talk about today. And that's what I want to kind of come and discuss with you today, because I feel like that relatability is important. And not only do I feel like it's important, I feel like it's something that a lot of people may not understand or grasp. I mean, if you were to be honest, I don't know too many people that's really discussing this or talking about relatability. And I'm naming it the art of relatability because if you think about art, you think about something that's artistic, that's beautiful, that's captivating, that catches the eye. And I feel like that relatability in so many ways does that. And I think there's something beautiful as it relates to relatability and the ability to connect with each other, the ability to relate to each other. And we're going to talk about a lot of good stuff in this today. So I'm really glad that you're here. And um, like I said, it's very artistic, but we got to be real and honest to the point of just saying not everybody knows how to do that, though. Some people don't know how to relate to others, more or less. Some people don't even know how to even relate to themselves. And I've seen that happen a time or two also, because the reality of it is if you're not relating to yourself, if you're not real to yourself, you can't expect nobody else um, to do that. Nobody else is going to do that for you. That's something that you have to do. So that's what I want to talk about, the art of being relatable. And why is that important? Why is it important to be able to relate to someone? What does relatability looks like? How can one relate to others? And that's what we're going to be discussing today. So the first thing we need to ask is the question: what is relatability? What is relatability? Relatability is simply this. It is it means easy to understand and feel connected to. That's what it means. There are two key words here that I want you to keep in mind. Number one, understand, and number two, feel. Did you get that? The two key words is number one, understand, and the next word is feel. That's what the word relatability means. Relatability is associated with connection. So that's something else that you have to keep in mind too. Relatability is associated with connection, regardless of what that connection with another person may be. They may be an acquaintance, it may be a friendship, it may be a marriage, it may be somebody you met off the street. I think in every aspect of life, we want to relate and connect with someone in some capacity. So there are many ways that we can relate to others. There's not one specific way to relate to somebody. The way I may relate to you, you may not relate to me the way I relate to you, but we can relate because we understand and we feel each other. That's what relatability is in a nutshell. So relatability is associated with connection. There are many ways that we can relate to others, and by doing so, it makes the connection that you have with that person even much stronger. Did you know that? I mean, it's one thing to just be connected to someone, but it's another thing to be connected to someone, and it's a person that you're able to relate to. It's a person that you're able to connect to. I can't tell you how powerful that is today. The ability to relate, understanding how artistic and how beautiful and how majestic relatability is. The fact that I have a person in my life that I'm not just connected to, that I have the ability to relate to. It's somebody that feels me. It's somebody that gets me. It's somebody that understands me and who I am and what I am and who I am authentically. They feel me. They understand me. Being relatable means showing not only sympathy but empathy. And many people think that the both of those words means the same. In my opinion, they really don't. Sympathy simply means a common feeling, feelings of pity and sorrow for someone else's misfortune or for your misfortune. Empathy is the ability to understand and share. That's a key word that I need you to pay attention to. Empathy is the ability to share the feelings of another. So let me give you an example. Sympathy says this, because sympathy and empathy, especially empathy, it has a lot to do with our ability to relate and connect with people. But sympathy says, I am sorry for your loss. You have my condolences. You have my what? Sympathy. That's what sympathy says. But empathy, on the other hand, says, not only am I not only do I feel sorry for your loss, and I'm sorry what happened to you and your misfortune, whatever that may be, whatever that loss may be, but empathy not only feels sorry for you, but empathy says, I've been there. I feel you. I know what you're going through. That's the contrast between sympathy and empathy. It's not that you just feel sorry for a person, but you can literally say, I know where you're at. I've been down that road before. I feel you. Not only do you feel him, you can literally say, I understand you. We need more people today that have more empathy than sympathy. We need more people today that won't just say, I feel sorry for you, but actually, do you really feel sorry for me? Have you been down this road that I've been down? Because one thing I've learned is that many people who say, oh, I feel sorry for you, I know how you feel. The reality of it is, unless you've went down that road and went down that path, unless you have not related to the same thing that that person has went through, The reality of it is you really don't know and you really don't understand what that person has went through. I can't tell you right now how it feels to lose a mother because my mother is still living. I can't tell you right now what it's like to lose a father. My father is still living. I can't tell you what it's like um to lose my brothers. I'm the oldest, but all my brothers are still living. I can't tell you, oh, well, I know how it feels to lose a brother. I don't, because they're still living, and it's almost deceptive as well. It's like, how can you say, oh, I know how you feel? You really don't know how I feel unless you've been there, unless you walked in those shoes, unless you have been through that pathway. You cannot you can't connect with me by being unauthentic. You can't connect with me by lying to me, telling me you know how I feel, when the reality is you don't know how I feel. You don't know what I've been through. You don't know the struggles that I'm dealing with in my life. You just don't know. So you can tell somebody, oh, I feel sorry for you. And it's great that you say that and you give your condolences or whatever the misfortune may be. But I'm so glad today that there are people that's able to relate to me. I mean, that I can sit down at the table with at lunch and we can relate to each other. I know what you're talking about, bro. Sister, I know what you're talking about. I've been there. I've been divorced before. I've been lied on before. I've been mistreated. I've been hurt. I've been down. I suffer with depression. I can relate to you. We can share each other's emotions. We can share in each other's feelings. I've been there. And that's what empathy is. Empathy is simply saying, I've been there, not necessarily just saying, I feel sorry for you. I'm sorry that happened to you. I'm sorry you had to go through that. I'm sorry, sorry, sorry. And many people that express sympathy, it doesn't even come from a heart of compassion. They just say it just out of habit. Just like when somebody passed away, you have my condolences. I'm sorry that that happened to you. But I'm so glad today that I can connect with people who have a heart of empathy. Empathy is so connected to relatability. Being able to connect with a person and being able to relate to their situations and to be able to relate to their circumstances. Simply saying, I've been there. I love this part here with sympathy and empathy because I did a teaching on it uh, several months back, and it is so true, people. If you could just understand the power of empathy, that's what people need today. They need your empathy. They just don't want you to feel sorry for them. Most people that I know that go through struggles and things, they don't want you to just feel sorry for them. They want you to feel them. How many can relate to what I'm saying today? They don't want you to just feel sorry for them. They want you to feel. Do you feel me? You say you understand, but do you truly understand? You say you know, but do you truly know? You say you feel me, but do you truly feel me? That's the difference between sympathy and empathy. Remember, relatability deals with understanding and feeling. Empathy says, I feel you. Sympathy says, I feel sorry for you. Relatability has everything to do with sharing in someone else's struggles. Here's another part of the message I'm glad to get to. Relatability has everything to do with sharing in someone else's struggles. And sometimes the most comforting thing you can do is say to someone, I've been there. I know how you feel. It's an amazing thing to, like I said, to sit down with someone or to communicate with someone that has a struggle in their life, no matter what that struggle may be. And you can say, I struggle with that too. How can we relate to each other? How can we build connection from it? How can we build healthy relationships and friendships from this area? How can we help each other? Oh, I didn't know you went through that. I didn't know you struggle with depression. I didn't know you struggle with mental illness or whatever you struggle with. I didn't know that. But guess what? I struggle with that too. Think about it. And you're able to connect with that person. You're able to relate to that person. That is a marvelous feeling to share. And sharing will require the other person's participation as well. Not just you sharing. There's nothing wrong with you sharing, but sharing will require the other person's participation. It's an A and B effort. It's an A and B conversation between two adults that have the ability to not only connect, but also be able to relate, sharing each other's feelings, sharing each other's emotions. I think that's very important, people. So sometimes that's all people need to know is that you know how they feel and that you've been there. You know what they're going through. Relatability is also associated with transparency. How many of you knew that? The ability to relate is also associated with transparency, being transparent with someone. I've said this so many times that many of you know I've been doing shows about it the last several weeks about confession and being open with people and so forth. Um, I said vulnerability and transparency are even different because vulnerability, you see part of me. Many of us can be vulnerable with anyone, but transparency, you see all of me. And I've said this once, I'll say it again. Many people are ready for your vulnerability, but they're not ready for the real you. Woo! I felt that. I'm gonna say it again. Some people, they're very open to your vulnerability, but they're not ready for the real you. They're not ready for that, for the raw you, the transparent you, and who you truly are. They're just simply not ready for you. But there is a people out there that is ready for you. I was telling a young lady the other day, she's very discouraged about. I feel like nobody's listening to me. I feel like nobody's not listening to my messages. I feel like nobody's engaging. I stopped her. I said, there is a people that will be able to relate to what you're saying. I said, stop that. That's what I told her. She may thought I was being harsh, but I'm sorry. I said, stop that. Don't sit here and worry about who's gonna like the video, who's gonna share it. How come this person ain't watch? Don't stop it. There is a people that will hear your message. There is a people that will be able to relate to you. There is a people that will feel you. There is a people that will understand you. There is a people for you. There is a people. You don't have to work your way to it. You don't have to earn your way to it. These people will naturally gravitate towards you and who you are, and they will accept you for who you are and not for what they think you should be. They will love you for who you are. This is what relatability has a lot to do with transparency. They will love you for who you are. They will love your message. You don't have to over explain to people who get you. You don't have to over explain yourself to people that naturally can relate to you. Why? Because they get you. They understand the art of relatability. They know what it means to share in each other's feelings and emotions. They know what it means to be able to feel you and to relate to you. And also, I understand you. Why? Because I've been there. Why? Because I walked in those shoes. If you're not real with yourself, I don't care if you're a pastor or whatever you are, if you're not real with yourself and don't know how to relate to who you are as a person, how in the world are you going to expect other people to relate to you? I'll be honest, I haven't always been real with myself. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes just like everybody else do. But the reality of it is, if I'm not going to be real with you about who I am and what I am, and how do I expect you to give me that in return? What does it look like to ask you to relate to me, but I can't relate to you about anything? Or I can't share details of my life with you that maybe you may be struggling with right now. You may just need to hear. And many people today, they're doing that. They are simply doing that. They want people to relate to them, but they don't want to relate. So if you have never been through nothing, if you've never been through nothing, that will make it even much more harder for someone to relate to you. If you've never been through a problem, if you never had a struggle, if you've never been through nothing, I've always said this, you can't really help me. You really can't. You can't help me if you've never been through. I've never had a struggle. I've never had a problem. God has always been good to me. I'm good, child. I've never been through anything. Well, you can't help me if your life is well polished. You've always had a perfect marriage and everything's going great. And rows of ease is what they say. You cannot help me. Why? Because I can't relate to you. If you've never been through, if you got no struggles in your life, and if your life is so prestige and perfect, you cannot help Henry Harris, and I don't want your help because you're too clean. You've never been through nothing. You don't know what it's like to go through turbulence. You don't know what it's like to go through storms. You don't know what it's like to go through trials. You just don't know what it's like because you've never been through nothing. I cannot relate. I don't care if you're a Christian or whatever you are. If you've never been through a struggle or shaming people for their struggles, if you've never been through struggle, I cannot relate to you. I cannot connect with you. It will make it hard for me to. I can't do it. I cannot connect with you if you've never been through nothing. I know a guy that said he was getting ready to get on the airplane, and he always asks his assistant every time he gets ready to fly, "Is this the pilot's first trip?" And the assistant would tell him, "Well, he got some really good, thorough training, and he's very nice." And the guy would say, "Yeah, that's good, but if this is his first flight, I want to get on another flight." And the assistant would say, "Well, why so? I mean, he got some good training and give him a chance." But the guy would say, "That's good, and I'm not discrediting his ability and what he does." But and then the assistant would say, "Well, but what? Why won't you get on the flight?" He says, "Because I'm afraid he may be able to fly." Now watch this. He said he may be able to fly, but I'm afraid that he may not be able to handle the turbulence or the storms that he may encounter. Woo! Did you get that? Even though it's the pilot's first flight, he said, "I'm not going to get on it." Because he said, and that's the same way it is with people today. You're flying through life and everything may be going great. But as soon as that turbulence starts to come, your life becomes a little bit more shaky and more off balance, so to speak. Those are the type of people I want to connect to. People who've been through the turbulence, who've been through the fire, who've been through the storm. People who knows what it's like to be hurt. People who knows what it's like to have financial difficulty. People who knows what it's like to go through divorce. I've been through divorce. I want to connect with people that I can relate to. I don't want to just talk. I want somebody I can share and be and empathize with, not just sympathy, but empathy. Both of those are important. I feel they are important. So being able to relate just simply means three things: being yourself, be yourself. We got too many people out there that's trying to be like somebody else. I want to be like the next such and such. No, be yourself. You are unique and beautiful just the way you are. You don't have to be like anybody else. I tried that. And when you wear a mask and you try to portray an image that you're not, we're living in a time now where people see right through you. It's not that they're judging you, but they see right through you. They see it. Show us the real you. Like told you about the story about my one friend. Don't worry about who's going to accept you. Will they like me? Will they embrace me? Sometimes we need to learn to affirm who we are and affirm ourselves. We're so preoccupied worrying about, I need everybody to accept me. Why? Accept yourself. Love yourself. Affirm who you are. Look at yourself in the mirror and say, I like me. I love me. Come on, there's nothing wrong with that. Relate to yourself. And if you learn how to relate to yourself, you won't have an issue whatsoever being able to relate to other people. So be yourself. Don't try to be like it. Just be yourself. And being real doesn't mean you have to try to be. I hear people say all the time, I'm trying to be real. You People who are real and authentic just simply don't care. They're raw, they're real, they're uncut, they're unfiltered. They just are the person that they are. A new friend lady that I just recently met. We was having a conversation. I can tell based off of her conversation some of the struggles and things she's been through. And I looked at her and told her, I said, you know what? I said, I just want to tell you, you are so freaking real. And she said, well, thank you, Henry. And real, my friend Bishop Jim Swilly always says, real recognizes real. Real recognizes real. And we live in a time now where people don't want to be real. They don't want to be themselves because they're afraid how other people or the public may perceive them. Can we simply just say we don't care anymore? This is 2021. Be yourself. The sky's the limit. Do what you want to do. Be yourself. You only got one life to live. Live your life to the full potential. You can be and accomplish and do everything that you want to be. But it all starts with being relatable. Number two, and we got a few more minutes. Number two, living authentically. Living authentically. That has a lot to do with being yourself. And number three, know your value. I saw a post, and I may not be quoting it right, but it says something about your inability to not understand my value. It doesn't decrease it, or something it says. In other words, people do not define your value at the end of the day. And that is so true. They don't. Don't allow anyone to define your worth. I don't know who I'm talking to this Saturday evening on this live show. Don't allow anyone to define your worth. Don't allow anyone to define who you are. Baby, know your worth. Know your worth. Know who you are. I know my worth. You don't have to tell me. I know it. I know my worth. Do you know your worth? Do you know who you are? That's what's important today. I know my worth. I know my value. I'm expensive. Relatability. Relatability. The only way we're going to ever develop healthy friendships, healthy relationships, and stronger connections with people, we have to learn how to be relatable. Did you enjoy that? I hope you did. I enjoyed it, and I hope that this was a blessing to you. If you enjoyed today's show, please share this. Share this. Let's get it out. We're gonna be doing some. These are just gonna be spontaneous. Spontaneous. We'll still do some pre-recorded shows. I got some shows that I haven't even put up yet that I recorded a year and a half ago. People that know me will tell you that. So we'll still put up some of those, but there will be some times where we'll just be spontaneous and we're gonna bring some guests on. There'll be times where I'll come on like I'm doing now, as I've been doing, And I like this platform. I've never done this before. And I really like this to be able to just come and just share and just connect. I think that's a beautiful thing. Connect, relatability. Go relate to somebody today. Would you do that for me? Not just tell them, I feel sorry for you, but I walked in your shoes. I know how you feel. I've been there. Would you do that for me? I'll be very pleased. I hope you have an amazing day. We have a great show tomorrow. We're going to be, it's not a series, but I've been talking about is it safe to share everything with someone? We kind of talk about the practical aspect of it a few, about a couple of weeks ago when I did part one. And there's only two parts to this. So part two, my friend Donna is coming on. I believe she's from Texas. She's gonna be coming on tomorrow morning, Sunday morning. We'll be right back here on the Brother Henry and You Show live with her. We're gonna do part two. You want to kind of look into the spiritual aspect of it. So I know that this is gonna really um, bless you. It's gonna help you. It's gonna inspire you. Tell your friends about the Brother Henry and You Show. You probably seen the caption on the stream. Make sure you go and like our page on Facebook. Follow us on Facebook. We're also on YouTube at www.youtube.com/Henry Harris 100. I hope you have an amazing day, amazing evening, and realize that you're the best. And go relate to someone today.
We hope you have enjoyed today's program. We want to connect with you. Visit us at facebook.com/The Brother Henry and You Show, or visit us on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Henry Harris 100. We're so grateful you tuned in today and hope you have a fantastic day.